the Aransas Pass School Board meeting for April 10th, 2017. We do have a quorum of our school board here, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. If you'll please stand for the pledges with Patricia Grant and the invocation with Mr. Record.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we come today thanking you for the many blessings that you bestow upon us. We thank you, God, for just being better to us than we could ever be to ourselves. We come saying a special prayer for all of us this afternoon. We ask your blessings upon us as we prepare to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We thank you, God, for the dedication that you gave your only begotten Son to die for us. Then we come saying a special prayer for this meeting this evening. I pray, oh God, that you would bless this meeting, bless this board, enable this meeting to go the way that you would have it to go. In Jesus' name we pray.
I think we have another school board member in the audience. So thank you, everyone. And the first item on the agenda is the Panthers and Boys and Girls. So we'll start with that. Ms. Brand, our boards. Our first Panther of the month is Marlon Gutierrez. Come on up when we call your name. Marlon is the son of Homero and Benita Gutierrez. Marlon is a first grader at Hawk Early Childhood. In his spare time, Marlon enjoys playing football and with his brothers, Homero Jr., Juan, Santos, and Eli. He likes school because he gets to do a lot of work, play outside, and do fun things on Friday. Marlon's goal is to become a football player when he grows up. Marlon was selected as Panther of the Month because he is a dedicated student. He is always on task, he is kind and helpful to both his friends and his teachers. Marlon also works hard in class and follows the rules. Hawk Early Childhood is proud to have Marlon Gutierrez as their Panther of the Month. Our next Panther of the Month is from Keyburger Elementary. He is a third grader, and his name is Wyatt Marshall Wesley Matson. He is the son of Betty Timmer. He always does his homework when he first gets home in his spare time. And in his spare time, Wyatt enjoys shooting baskets and riding his dirt bike. Wyatt likes school because he loves learning. His favorite classes are Mr. Bamberg's Science and Social Studies because he makes them fun. Wyatt was selected as Panther of the Month because he is always polite, he shows kindness and compassion to others, and has wonderful manners. Wyatt was nominated as Panther of the Month by his teachers. Keyburger Elementary is proud to have Wyatt Marshall Wesley Matson as their Panther of the Month. Our next Panther of the Month is from Charlie Marshall Elementary. Lucia Fuentes is the March Panther of the Month. Lucia is a fourth grader at Charlie Marshall. She is always very respectful and always puts others first. We are very proud of her hard work and dedication. Lucia is the daughter of Rosa Goites. She has one younger brother and one older brother. She currently has 3 dogs, a German Shepherd, a Pug, and a Boxer. Her favorite hobbies are playing with her dogs and riding her bikes with her brothers. Lucia's favorite color is purple, and her favorite subject in school is art and math. Lucia hopes to become a veterinarian when she grows up. Please join us in congratulating Lucia Fuentes as our March Panther. plans for the future are to get good grades, a good job, and go to college. Brian was selected as Panther of the Month because he is a dedicated student. He is a hard worker and a dedicated student. He is always very polite and enjoys learning very much. Casey Blunt is proud to have Brian Acevedo as the Panther of the Month. Our next Panther of the Month is KPHS's Leanna Marie Helms. She is the daughter of Victoria Hernandez. Leanne has a sister, Marjorie Helms. She is a senior this year, and after high school, Leanne will attend college in hopes of fulfilling her dream of becoming a neonatal nurse. Leanne was nominated Panther of the Month because she is always respectful to everyone around. She also shows kindness and compassion to others. Leanne was nominated for Panther of the Month by the Aransas Pass High School teachers and staff. Aransas Pass High School is proud to have Leanna Helms as their Panther of the Month.
Take one picture.
Our employees of the month are Heather Martinez from Falk Early Childhood. Carolina Duckhart from Keyburger Elementary. Here with us tonight. Cindy Uribe from Charlie Marshall Elementary. Payola Cervantes from Blunt Middle School. Kelly Pate Sims from Aransas Pass High School.
Can we all? We have everybody? Is everybody?
The board always welcomes the public to our open meetings. Actually, we would love for you to come every month. And we enjoy seeing the parents and the teachers, and of course, this is our favorite time of the meeting. But we understand that you all have, children to feed and early mornings tomorrow, so you're welcome to leave now or you're welcome to stay. So are we gonna go over the or just comment?
Just comment.
Thank you. Congratulations to everyone.
Hey, there's a camera. Look, go right there.
You took a picture with you? Hermano. Yeah. No, that's it.
Motion by Mr. Molinax.
Second.
Second by Mr. Abrego. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is an information item. The following reports were included for the board's review: the accounts payable report, the budget status and investment reports, and the tax collection reports. Does any board member have any questions or comments regarding the reports? Do I have a motion to approve the report? Oh, it's information, sorry. The next item on the agenda is the tax collection report. It was included for the board's review. Any questions, comments? The next item on the agenda is an action item, the overnight trip request by HOSA. HOSA is Aransas Pass High School's Future Health Professionals Organization. They have requested permission to attend the National Board Certification Exam for CNAs in Edinburgh, Texas, leaving Aransas Pass High School on April 19th and returning on April 20th. The board received details of the overnight trip request.
Make a motion to approve the proposal.
A motion by Ms. Diossis and a second by Mr. Rector. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to all of our students who will be taking them, and good luck. Yeah, good luck. Congratulations, they got there, and good luck passing the test. The next item on the agenda is an information item that will be shared with the school board concerning the GT program at AC1 Middle School.
I'm Rachel Harrelson. I'm the assistant principal at AC1 Middle School, and this is going to serve two purposes. One, it's to serve, I'm finishing my superintendent certification in May, so I have to present my project, and I had to pick a district improvement project. The one I picked was to improve the GT program because I came to you with 12 years previous experience of being the gifted and talented coordinator at Lampasas ISD before I graduated with my master's degree and moved on to become an assistant principal. And the second reason why I'm here tonight is to fulfill the 5.3C part of the Texas Education Plan for the Gifted, that the GT program has an annual evaluation, so that can serve as this right here. This is my plan, and I have it for you to review. I'm just showing what I've done this year and what I plan on doing this summer and next year to update the GT program for our district. What you have also is a color copy of the brochure. This is something I started in Lampasas, and I want to continue here. This is the front, or kind of the back side of the trifold brochure, and it's a Distinguished Scholar Program. There'll be more information to come on that. And this is the inside of the brochure also. And this is to fulfill a state requirement that all students complete the Texas Performance Standard Project or something similar. And across the state, it's very difficult for secondary schools to complete this part of the requirement. And this has actually been something that was implemented that does that. It fulfills that quite nicely. And you'll hear more about that next year. And here's some examples of Distinguished Scholar projects from the previous district in which I was employed. There's projects, newsletters, poems, songs, everything. There's like lots of different choices that they can complete. So a look into the future, which is next year, what we plan on doing is this is the elementary GT model. Again, it's not much of a change, it's just a couple tweaks. You can look at that, look it over, and you can feel free to ask me any questions about that. This will be the middle school GT model. The middle section, of course, is what our main mode of delivery with the gifted and talented services, and then the things on the outside are all the things available to gifted students at that level. And then here's the high school model. And that's it. So there'll be more information to come. And I'm proud to be a Panther. Thank you.
We're proud to have you. Thank you.
I have one question. Are you GT? You have a GT program for elementary and high school, or just GT?
The state requires that you serve the students K through 12, and we currently are in compliance with that in this district. We're just adding in a few more things to make it nicer
So
for
you
the
can have
students.
the GT program all the way through the district, right?
Yes. Sorry, any other questions?
So does each campus have a teacher at the campus?
Well, we're working on that. Yes, there's some people that have volunteered to kind of be the leader of the campus in that regard. Yes. Yeah, thanks for asking.
Is that a pull-out programs, or you
No.
can't? They're designated to a classroom?
They're designated to a classroom in groups, as far as I can tell from the information I've gotten from the teachers. There's three or four students per teacher. I haven't dove that deep into it yet, but we're gonna get there.
But they're not allowed to all be in the same classroom?
The state says that they must be grouped in groups of 3 or more. So if you have 5 GT students in a grade level, you can't put them 2 and 3. They have to all 5 go into one classroom. So that is a good question. If you have 6, you can split them 3 and 3 in a grade level.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is an information item that will be shared with the board concerning the T-test and T-test overview. Hello, I'm happy to be here to speak to you tonight about T-test and T-test. If you're not familiar with it, T-test is our new appraisal system for our teachers. It replaces our PDAS system that we had in place for many years. And the T-test was developed in response to state mandates, for one, and federal mandates that we change our evaluation system. And also, we had new standards that were written, so we needed to develop something new to measure those standards. There are several components to T-test. The first component is goal setting and professional development. That's something new that wasn't previously a part of the PDAS system. And then, under the evaluation cycle, that's what we traditionally think of as the evaluation, and that's the observation. So there's a pre-conference involved with that, the actual observation, which is 45 minutes, and the post-conference. The third component of this system is the measure of student growth. It was not included this year. They gave us an additional year because T-test is so different than PDAS. We implemented this system in phases. So next year we will do the measure of student growth. Teachers are evaluated under 4 domains, and that is professional practices and responsibilities, the learning environment, the instruction, and planning. And then next year added to that will also be that student growth component. In the rubric, teachers are scored according to all of these performance categories. The highest they can get is distinguished, and the lowest would be improvement needed. With this system, it's very different than PDAS because that middle level proficient is considered to be really good teaching. Okay, so that's rock solid teaching. So if you're above that middle level, you're really doing well. So that's a shift because we have a lot of teachers scoring at the very top of the PDAS system. So this is something that teachers are having to get used to, and principals as well. In the T-test system, here's the cycle. It starts with an orientation if the teachers are new, which everybody was this year, to the system or new to the district. Then there's the goal setting, and the teachers work with the principal to develop their goals for the year. So, and their goals that they develop themselves based on their own needs. Before the observation, they have a pre-conference, then they have their observation and a post-conference. And while all of this is happening, the teacher is collecting evidence on things that they are doing towards their professional responsibilities domain. So that goes in the end of their evaluation, and the principal is doing walkthroughs also and collecting further information. So all of this is happening at the same time. Once all of that information is gathered, there's an end of year conference where they look at everything together. In practice, this is kind of what we've seen. The goal setting and the pre-conference, post-conference, it really has helped the teacher and the principal develop a relationship and have meaningful dialogue about teaching and be reflective. It is focused on teacher growth and reflection, which PDAS was kind of like a checkoff. You go in and if I see these things, I'll check it off. This is very different. It's a process. Appraisers are having to go in and script and actually write down word for word some of the phrases or words that the teachers are using, things that are happening in the classroom. So it's the appraisal, the observation itself is more involved. The rubric is much more rigorous than PDAS as well. So it's more detailed and it's harder to get to those higher levels. So what we see is it is time consuming. It's time consuming for the teacher, it's time consuming for the appraiser, so there's a lot of work involved. But from everybody that I've talked to, they really feel like all of the work is worth it. But it is very time consuming. T-TEST follows very closely along the lines of T-TEST, very similar process. Previously we had a locally developed instrument that we were using. There wasn't a state instrument. This also was developed in response to state mandate and to new standards that were in place. And again, the components, there's a goal setting component. There's an evaluation cycle where the principal and the appraiser meet in a series of conferences, beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of year. And then a measure of student growth will be included in that also. It wasn't this year. Principals are appraised in 5 areas: instructional leadership, human capital, executive leadership, school culture, and strategic operations. And they have very similar performance categories to what the teachers have. And again, the cycle that they go through is similar, with an orientation, self-assessment and goal setting. Then you have your series of conferences, beginning and middle, and all the while that's happening, they're collecting evidence on what they're doing to help meet their goals. And the appraiser is collecting evidence as well. They're doing informal assessments, they're going to the campus, they're talking to people, they're seeing what's going on. And then once all of that is collected, there is an end of the year conference. And again, some more goal setting going on. In practice, again, very similar. All of the goal setting in the beginning, middle, and end does foster that dialogue and that continuous cycle of improvement. It's focused on principal growth. And again, it does have rigorous performance indicators attached to it. So it's harder to reach those higher levels. And again, it is time consuming for both the appraiser and the principal. So there's a lot of work involved with them in this process. Aransas Pass has implemented the system this year. I'll let you just kind of look over the dates of things that we implemented in the district. We're getting ready to finish it up. The end of year conferences need to be held by May the 10th. All in all, our teachers have done a really good job with the transition. So we've been really proud of the work that they've done, and the principals as well. They had to learn this process and then implement it very quickly, and they've done a fabulous job with doing that. Next year, we will implement the student growth measure. We've chosen as a district to do the student learning objectives piece of that. It seems to be the best one, the less threatening of them all, and the one that the teachers is the most useful to the teachers. We are in the process of requesting a waiver to ask that measure not be included in their actual evaluation. That they just go through the process, and it's not a component in their evaluation for the first year, and then afterwards it will be included, and subsequent years will be included in their evaluation. So that's what we've been doing with T-TEST. That's how it works. Do you have any questions for me?
When you say evidence, are these documented or do they have survey forms? What exactly?
Anything that they have, it could be meeting notes, it could be agendas, it could be signage sheets, it could be
for each campus is the one that's collecting the information, keeping it in their files as to where they are in the process.
Yes, principals are collecting their own for their own evidence.
And then the superintendent is keeping all of that information for our
Yes.
administrators.
Is this all electronic?
Yes.
No.
There's software for it, it's, I mean, it's all,
No.
Really? That's crazy. We use the same system at work with the same format, concept.
Some of it
Meeting
is.
every year, mid-year and end of year.
Our appraisals,
It's all
we
electronic.
do have, some of it is online, but like the evidence and things like that, you collect in copy.
Right, but your goal setting is there and
Yes,
approval
yes.
and all
We do
that.
have, we do have a platform for that.
Okay.
so if the teacher wanted to refer back to, you know, a
Goals.
meetings that they had, the goals that they had, you wanted to.
That's in there.
You know, just to refocus.
There's a paperwork trail as far as the observation, the goal setting, and the end of year conference that is housed in one system.
Now, the goals that the teachers are setting, are they for the classroom, like the student classroom, or in the subject matter they're teaching? Or
They are
is it
professional
their own
goals.
professional development growth they plan for?
They're
like going to the
individual
service center
goals.
for extra classes or whatever.
Their individual goals, that they agree upon with their principal. So let's say they wanted to develop, they wanted to have a goal that didn't really align with what the school was doing or needing. Then the principal would work with them to, make that goal something that aligns with what the school is needing.
But is
So,
I guess the
it's
question
individual.
is it student, it goals for the students or goals for the teachers?
It's goals for the teacher to improve their practice.
Okay. And the other one, you know, the principals are measured on the student growth for the teachers, is that, you know, the campus growth for the whole campus, is that how, you know, on the student growth plan for the principals? Since they're not really involved in the classroom for the classroom, you know, I guess they've got to make sure the teachers are actually doing their job, because if not, then they're going to get low scores on their evaluations as well.
Correct.
So it kind of holds them accountable for what the teachers are doing. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Double line, good idea. Thank you. Anyone else? The next item on the agenda is an action item, the instructional materials allotment and team certification for the 2017-2018 school year was provided for the board's review.
This is a annual thing that we do, basically saying that we will only spend our EMAT monies on state-approved textbook adoptions, and that we will not basically spend on anything else, just to make sure it's for instructional materials only. Again, like earlier.
Any of our board members have any questions for Mr. Cahill? Do I have a motion to approve the team certification as recommended by administration? A motion by Ms. Piasas, a second by Mr. Molinax. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is information on the replacing of 8 HVCA units. And the information was included for the board's review. It's a good thing.
I have a question, does these come with warranties of any sort, or is just installation?
They do come with warranties.
More. Yes, they do come with warranties. I did take the process because of the dollar amount of units we have to replace. And unfortunately, since then, we've had a couple more go down, so. Yeah, so this is the start. These are ones we've been band-aiding for a long time. It's time to replace them, but yes, they do come with the warranties.
Is it manufacturing or actual
Is it the
Irving's?
standard or did we
Warrant, the
Service.
manufacturer and like a one-year labor,
Okay.
the contractor.
Okay.
And, we've got some competitive bids. I had to talk to the contractors to get it down a little bit. They did see my way.
Yes, looking like a negotiator.
Yes. they take the
We're
old.
gonna keep Jones for spare parts, because we need parts there. I know.
They don't work that way, and they're so,
We have
they're
a
so.
fan down, the unit's got a fan, and the fan goes out, you
Right,
replace the
and I
fan.
see what you're saying, and they're really antiquated, old equipment that, they're worn out. I mean, I guess you could, but it'd take more time to do that than the,
Where would we put storage and,
Right.
it's a good question.
yeah, but you.
Can I ask, you made the recommendation to use Crossroad?
Yes, yes, sir.
Do you use Kirby for maintenance?
We do, and we use Irving for most of our electrical, projects, that specific electrical. We use Crossroads, we've been using them for our AC replacements, we did some last summer when I first went on board. And I was very pleased with their work, and their timeliness, and they've worked with us, from what I understand, throughout the years, for many years with us. And I built a good relationship with the owner and the sales rep that deals with us. And that goes a long way. And when I need him, he's here.
My understanding they're out of Victoria? Victoria. When they actually do maintenance, do they actually charge, for mileage and?
No.
They don't?
No. No, they're very reasonable.
And your
Yeah.
response times?
Absolutely great.
Adequate.
Yes, he's here. When I need him, he's here promptly. So, and that goes a long way. We have to have reliable, vendors, trades to get here. So, that's why I'm recommending.
This is not part of the bond,
Yeah, we're gonna use some of the bond money.
Yeah, that's what
Like I said, just keep in mind, those are 6 or 8 that we have down there. We've got some more we're having some issues with right now, and we're looking at it right now to see if we can put some Band-Aids on it for the time being. So,
we don't have do you have a monthly maintenance, just something minor, monthly maintenance on the units? Like changing out the air filter?
Absolutely, yes.
I know we don't have the two staff that they used to work on air conditioning one. We don't have anyone anymore.
Well, we do have, yes, we do, Johnny's got it out,
Johnny's still with us?
He's still with us. He's actually, he's very invaluable to me, he's everything, he's my electrician, my plumber, and my HVAC guy. And, I don't know what I'll do if he just says he's not getting off. I'm panicking, but, so, yeah, he's good. And I found a good, helper too, as well, and, they're working well together. Young man is very eager to learn, so that's what we need.
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed also, excuse me, I just have to note there, on the estimate for Crossroad, it didn't have a disposal for the units. Is that part, going to be part of it? or-
Yes, I mean, he'll this one, yeah, he did the other ones on our last time we did it. He just probably. Yes, sir.
I noticed on this memo, there's, requesting permission to move forward with the gym floor repairs.
That's a typo, I apologize.
Oh, okay.
For letting that get past me.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was wondering, okay. Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to slip anything past you.
You're testing me.
Information on
You
these.
smashed that one. I would have messed that up.
Okay. Great, we're very happy. We definitely, everyone's on board with the fact that, it's time for the facilities to be improved. We want to have facilities where our students are in the best environment, for their education, and these are the things that we want to put top priorities. So we
Absolutely.
appreciate your efforts.
It's this time of year, the heat is what we're dealing with. We gotta have comfortable conditions for these kids to have.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Dark environment, so. There's one thing more on the agenda there, if you want to talk to me, I'll be up here, I don't know about the lighting, if you have a question.
The lighting.
Is this a?
No, I completely agree with you.
Okay, I'll come back up, okay.
So motion by Mr. Stansberry, second by Mr. Rector, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The information was provided by administration for the board's review. General Land Office contract is to provide electricity to the district. It expires on December 31st, 2019. We were notified that the rates are even lower now. Correct? Any board member have questions or concerns?
Motion to approve.
Yeah. A motion by Mr. Rector, second by Mrs. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is an action item, information on the replacement of the transformer at the football stadium. Mr. Phillip?
Y'all did know, we recently had an issue, we tried to turn those on, it's been about 6 weeks ago, not that, 4 weeks ago, transformer blew. It's original transformer, original 1974, it's had its life.
Thankful it lasted this long.
It's had its life. We had, FSG is our regular lighting contractor. They're really the only outfit in this area that can handle that type of work. And that's who we regularly use to do our maintenance work on the lighting when they come change out bulbs or whatever for us. They're our vendor, our preferred vendor. So I brought them out. We had several, because of the high voltage of this system, there's not very many crews that have a licensing to work on this in this area. So they got us a bid together, and it's in front of you, that's what it is. When I saw it, I thought, I was thinking a lot more, because it was transformer blew at the light pole, and also the cable, which is underground, with high voltage, it blew also. So the cable has to be replaced too, the cable that goes to the hookup at the street.
So let's say you have to, put a new cable to trench a new, they can use the existing.
It blew. They tested it with the, I remember the meter they call it, the E-meter, or, I'm talking about, and it sits on, it blew up in the ground. So it's dead. So they're gonna have to replace the cable from the power source to the new transformer. And of course that's gonna
Is that the transformer close by the entry of the?
it's right at the light pole. Right at the base of the light pole. On the
One of the concession stand, the one behind the concession stand.
No.
Okay. You got one behind the concession stand, and I think you have two over in the,
It's the one that's closest to the tennis courts.
tennis court?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the other side.
Yeah. So, that's what it's gonna entail to do that, to get it back to par. So,
So 2 to 3 weeks for us to receive it, and then what is the time for them to
it'll take a
replace it?
couple of days, maybe 3 or 4 days to change, get everything in, connected, and ready to go.
Is that gonna affect any flow of
No.
traffic through there or
No,
events?
no, they'll make sure that, they'll bypass things. He kept blowing the fuses. He's got the old fuses that he had up there that were still hooked up to, that he says they can still put in retrofit on that, make it updated so it works and handle the voltage. So it'll work.
How many total transformers do we have?
There are one in each light pole.
Have there been any talk?
From my understanding, before my time, the ones on the AC left side of the field, south side, those have been replaced the last 10 years. Is that right?
Regardless of being replaced or whatever, but is there any kind of maintenance schedule to check the integrity of each of the transformers, to check the oil level, the integrity of the oil that's inside the transformers?
That I couldn't tell you right now, sir, but I can definitely, but I haven't done it since I've been here. So
Might be something to look into. 'Cause
Absolutely.
next week another transformer may blow.
You're right. You're right. And that's my fear too, because it's all connected together. So when we get everything fixed up on the new one and power up, then it's gonna be full strength, and then it's gonna pass on to the next one, and hopefully it doesn't do that.
All I know is we work with transformers, that kind of stuff. We inspect it each month here. There's somebody come in and check to see,
I'll definitely look into that, sir.
the integrity of it.
Yeah. But like I said, that one was 74, nothing's ever been done to it, so.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, so.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns?
One thing that Mr. Ochoa didn't say, that line that runs to the street is just in the dirt. It's not in any conduit like they require now. So-
Right, when they put this line in 74, they didn't put conduit, it was just laying in the dirt. It's 3 feet down.
Yeah.
But the elements got to it, I'm sure, over time.
Wash the water.
Now, the transformer, have they checked for PPD? Are they gonna dispose of it?
That's part of the deal, yes, sir, so.
Okay, because some of these older units have PPD.
Absolutely.
Right, environmental,
Right.
hazard material.
Right. So, I will double check into that, and see what's in.
I move that we approve the replacement of the transformer.
Motion by Mr. Yost, a second by Ms. Branch, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion carries, thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is an information item that was requested by the board on the March 6, 2017 regular board meeting regarding Hogan Homes and continued open enrollment of the surrounding school districts.
Thank you for that information.
Yes, indeed. Just so you know, put it on record, and they did speak to the representative from Hogan Homes, and he did say that they were building 300 homes in 4 separate phases. So that's what's going on in the UND area.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of neighbors. And the other piece is the local districts are continuing to accept open enrollment. So they're going to turn out students to Northern Line that's associated with this.
Rockport, Taft, everyone?
Everybody. And it raises pay. So
What is our screening, do we have a screening process for open enrollment?
yeah, we prefer students who have good attendance, who have passed
So
their.
there's certain information that we request when
Yes,
they
yes.
try to transfer over.
Yes.
Because we want them, but. sometimes we want them to have something to say. The next item on the agenda is an information item. This is a time set aside for any board member to address any topics for future meetings. Discussion of old business should be listed as a separate item on the agenda in order to comply by the Open Meetings Act. So for the next board meeting, we're getting closer to the end of the year. So what I would like to see is an IT security overview, just to kind of see what we're using for Barracuda, what to protect HIPAA and type information, personal information of our students, and just a little overview of what we have implemented. Firewalls. Software.
I'm sure that wasn't on the agenda last.
Did we know?
I think we talked a little bit about it.
Okay. Sorry.
I'll talk about it again.
You want to, you're a great speaker, we wanted you up here again, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. And also, student advisory board. So we went to our winter conference and we did see, we met with, of course, school board members all across the state of Texas. And Marion ISD has a platform, it's a student advisory board. And I would like to research having their platform was 12 students from middle school, junior high, and high school. And they had different standards of how they selected these students. And the students were actively involved with the board meeting. They would review the agenda. They would ask for items to be put on the agenda that they were facing. Of course, this is all done prior to the meeting and preparation. And the board would also be able to ask the students the different items on the previous agenda, how does this affect you in the classroom? You know, and get feedback from them also. So, Marion ISD has a program, so we could look into doing something like that here, I would like to. Okay, so just if the administration can give us a plan of how we could implement it. Anything else? The next item on the agenda is an action item to convene an executive session as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.001, concerning any and all purposes permitted by the act. Section 551.074, discussing personnel, or to hear complaints against personnel, resignations, recommendations for hire, terminations, contract renewals, teachers, other certified personnel. 551.071, section 552.0821, section 551.083,